Easily, that's how. No, but seriously, compost is just broken down organic matter. If you want good sums of organic matter that doesn't stink during or after the process, then follow me here. Most substances are either considered nitrogen dominant or carbon dominant. Live plants, fruit and vegetable scraps, and manure would be considered nitrogen dominant. Dried or dead plant matter and wood ash would be considered carbon dominant. You have to manage the ratios of carbon dominant and nitrogen dominant sources. You want more carbon than nitrogen. Too much nitrogen, and it'll stink and putrefy. You can still have too much carbon. Of course, it's a bit harder to overdo, but you'll know you have too much carbon if it's taking a long time to break down. I've heard of ratios like 1 part nitrogen to 2 parts carbon, all the way to 1 part nitrogen to 50 parts carbon. Important to the composting process is heat, water, and oxygen. Heat allows for a quicker breakdown of organic material. Microorganisms thrive in the heat, and they'll also produce some of their own heat while breaking down the material. That's just how energy is released during the process. Water is very important. Nothing will get done without it. That could also cause the composting process to be slower. The organisms that aid in the process will suffer if you don't have water. So too much water, of course, will drown and suffocate any organisms. Aeration allows aerobic microorganisms, or organisms that need oxygen to survive, to get oxygen. So if you don't have aeration, then those aerobic microbes will die. And then you'll have anaerobic breakdown, which will stink. Some extra things to note: you do not want to put meat or dairy in a compost bin. Those products will definitely putrefy and smell very bad. Alliums like onions, garlic, and chives are not too great either. Too much wood ash will basify compost, which is harmful to microorganisms. Also, just be mindful, sometimes grass clippings will clump together, and pine straw can be pretty slow to break down. You can compost many things. Some things you probably wouldn't even think about off the bat. Paper products, dryer lint, and old cotton clothing are considered carbon, and hair and coffee and tea grounds are considered nitrogen. Eggshells and some rock dusts are compostable and provide much needed minerals. If you ask me, they don't really belong in either category, but they're usually put in carbon because they're dry. If human waste is being used, it must be treated with care, probably desterilized and then dehydrated and turned into some sort of a powder or dust so that it can break down quicker. It should also be well contained in the composter. The composter shouldn't be leaking everywhere or just contaminating things where anyone works or children play. So also the resulting compost should not be used in the garden, but maybe under the mulch girding the base of a fruit tree. That would probably be a good place to put it. Of course, that also depends. You don't know where the runoff would go, so you'd have to manage it very well. And that's about all I can think of regarding compost right now. I don't know how good this will do you. I'll be able to answer any questions in the comment section below, though. Thanks for watching.